McMorran. Knocked some of the sawdust away. Just about enough space for me again. Oh, that's better. Sit down. Improving picture, ever so slightly, ever so slightly. Anyway, I was going to let you see what we've been working on. Stickmaker magazine came in the other day there, reminded me that I've not paid my membership. I need to get that at some point. Anyway, we've been working on some other sticks and using up the bits and pieces of Antler. Flying everywhere. So, just odds and sods that were about and using up the sticks at the same time. I'm going to try and finish one or two. I'm painting the resin, but this is something I started doing with the odd bits of plate antler that came off the fallow, and rather than waste it, I basically, you'll see it in this other one more than this. As I dig it out, I've hollowed it out and hollowed out the antler. I'd rather than throw it out, and so I said, well, I'll make nice little sticks, but something different. Always into something different. But it works alright, and once I've ground them off and finished them off, it'll be quite nice. It'll be alright. And that resin's fantastic in some ways. Bar the other day, the sun was shining. I set the tin in it to heat up. I sat it in too long. And run, oh, it's everywhere. Bloody business. And then of course it goes off that bloody quick. So there's quite a bit wasted the other day. Oh, man. But needless to say, that was that. So yeah, just using them up, and as I say, once I get in there with the Dremel and cuff things off and sort it out. But I'm always one for trying out. This is quite a nice one, this one. Yeah, it's there's a little bit opened up. I just when I put this together, this was an awkward one basically because of the turn on it. It didn't split the timber. Well, it did in a way. It just opened it up slightly. Still strong enough, no problem. But had a little bit of green resin there left, and so I kind of poured it into it last night when I was finishing off these ones, and I'll cuff it off, and it just stops anything getting into it. But I'm quite happy with the way things are going along. But I'm happy about jumping and diving about all over. I fell the other bloody night. I had to go to the doctors too. Doctors again. Emphysema now. There is only one cure, he says to me. And I suppose that's going to help me, he says. I said, no, it's not really. And so, well, I'll give you something to help. So it has done, and it's dead. But as I explained to him, I says, well, I feel quite fortunate at the age I'm at. I'm still here, because through the years, I think back to when I was a young lad, and all the stuff that you worked with, covered and everything, for asbestos in particular at one time, and gee whiz, there's no information back then. If there was, they weren't really telling you. And all the other stuff that dust machine shops and all the things I've worked with, so all in all, it's not a bad result, so that's it. Right? But we just about had as I say the other night there, this night I was going to the doctor's, I ended up having to go in. I wasn't really going to have a shower and get sorted, but I took a tumble off the deck in there, and I was quite fortunate this time. A lot of me fell in the one direction. It was like timber. I went, gee Christ, and they're threatening to ground me. They locked me up, and they did not let me out at all. But I was lucky that the bench things to the side, so there was nothing hitting the way down, so it was just the impact. It's getting up, it's a hassle. Nobody had noticed me, of course, so that was that. So But yes, so this is something just to use up the bits and pieces and whatnot and that. And I was in through the old bag of Antler that's there, and the grandson spotted. He was looking at the other day there. He was looking at the bits and pieces, and I'd been saying that the particular bit he was looking at, and I hadn't really noticed that actually, had been taken from these had been from a stag that had been culled, because obviously the crowns and all that were still attached to a bit of skull, and it wasn't a drop-off job that this thing went. And he was looking through it and around it, and he says, "Oh, is that a bullet hole, Grandad?" I went, "Actually, Fizz, so it is. There was a bullet hole. I hadn't bloody noticed." It's well done, so I'm going to cut it off for him, and maybe stick it in a bit of resin, and so he found it, so he can have it. So that's it, like, you know, man. But we're just not long down, so tidy these ones up. It's same again, dust. I should be masks. I'm going to go and get some new masks. There's loads of things I need to do this, you know. But yeah, so the other ones, no, I've not really done much to them at all. Bar, yeah, well, not much to them. No, I've been carried away with these, but still making them, still charging on, and so I'm not getting anywhere. So, but this I like doing something different. And so this is how well they'll work. Well, with a stick anyway. As I say, no waste at all. It's all going to get used in some form or other. And the thing about them, this one in particular, when I decided to turn this Antler the other way, and put it down like that, and once I shape off the top and it gets well jointed, you know, I get a good match. It's not far away actually from the shank, and a little cuff off, and they're always, you know, it'll be a handy stick, and the fact that you could hook onto something and practical. It's like the Swiss Army knife walking sticks. So some people look at them and go, "Oh, dear," but there you are. There's always something there for somebody, like, you know, right? But the other thing I was going to show you was the toast. I've done a little bit more with that. A bit of carry on. It didn't work terribly well, but it didn't work as well as the first one. It's getting the size of bread, wood. But yeah, something. It's different. It's there. So I did put it on and try and believe it or not, as a bit of a guise, I put the toast and the jam onto the marketplace, and I did say that it was resin and wood, or wood and resin and toast and jam. Well, I had one or two comments. I've got a kind of stalker across the water there somewhere. He comes on regularly to tell me how ridiculous I am, which I always put a like on because it just really winds him up something else, like, you know. But he came on to comment on this, and finishes off with some marvellous these emoji things, faces and things like that. But I don't really answer him. I just put a like on it, and that cracks him up. He bloody throws him the overdrive. He goes away again, like, you know. But when I checked the views it had on the marketplace, it had over 5,000 odd views. Right? And you would think that you would sell 500 odd thousand views. There's got to be somebody that's going to maybe put it up in the kitchen, put a note thing below it, and write on for message notes or whatever, and that kind of thing. So that kind of thing you could do with it. You could do lots of different things, but it was just a guise. And I do like winding people up at times, along that line. But anyway, a chap on, I think it was a chap anyway from Leith, he was wanting to buy it. Well, he wanted two. Another one of these people who have nothing to do, I think, run about annoying you. He was annoying in a different way. Like, you know, he was wanting to keep 2 till the 23rd of the month or something. Well, that's what was happening on the 23rd of the month. I have no idea whatsoever. And the fact that it was a one-off and thing. And I did say, well, yes, certainly I'll do 2 for you. And if you pay, well, he wasn't travelling. He wasn't going to come and get them. He was wanting me to send them to him. I said, oh yes, that's no problem. He said, PayPal. I says, pay for them. I says, I'll send. But he never got back to me. So you end up with a bit of that, and the carry on to them, like, you know. There was a chap there another week there. He was, he was brilliant. Him, like, you know. It transpired he was a kid on artist, and I knew from the word go it was this. But anyway, I played along with it just in case. And, you know, it might be genuine. And, to a point where he told me that his wife was coming to do it. He wouldn't be able to pick. She was going to pick him up. He wouldn't. And it went on for a couple of days, something like that. I had no other real interest other than that I sold it, but I kept him going. To a point where he was messaging me, telling me that his wife was outside, can't find the house. I just sold something to somebody previously who had been there, and happened to be at the front of the house and there was no sign of anybody. So which I knew thing was like. So anyway, he comes on again and messages me again. Where are you? She's out there. She can't find us and such. At which point I goes back and says, messages them back. I says, I mean, Gary's name was Gary or something. It's Gary. I said, you either need to do 1 or 2 things, son. I says, you either need to get a life or get a wife. Like, to which will really upset him. Because he's playing the game, no me. Or that's what he thinks anyway. He come on there on the phone and phone me. And of course it's out here somewhere. There's nobody there. I let him rant and rave and clicked him off. Messaged me and then I got a thumbs up. So obviously he says, oh, here's somebody who's playing this bloody better than me. Off time already. And so I threw it back and that was it. But at the end of the day he tried phoning again, at which point I had to really do away with him, lock him all together and get rid of him, because the other night it was just going to be a pest. But you end up with lots of that when you're selling stuff. But in amongst it all, there are genuine buyers, people who want what you've got and quite willing to negotiate on the price, which is always a negotiation. You always put that a little bit more on, because you're going to have to take a little bit off. So that's it. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. As I say, sticks coming along. The next time, hopefully, we'll have, I don't know, God knows what we'll be doing the next time. There's still more Antler there, so I'm busy. There's something else running through my head as it is. Anyway, all the best. Take care, and we'll catch you again. Cheers.